The first time I ever came here was with a little touring spectacle called the Schitt's Creek Up Close and Personal Live. I don't actually know what it was called after so many years, but I was kind of, amazed by this town, and I think particularly because it was the one town that we weren't staying over in. We had to fly out that night. And there was an extreme weather event coming in. And they were like, we have to fly private. It absolutely is a must. We must fly private. I was like, that seems like a bad combination, but I'd never been on a private jet before, and I wanted that experience. Anyway, the theater that we we sat in chairs and spoke at, it was called the State Theater. Yeah. You know it, you've seen shows there. And that theater, I had the wildest day. I had just walked around and I arrived back at the theater, and I realized that the intersection of the theater was 9th and Hennepin.
Yep. Yeah.
And that's like, I'd been listening to Rain Dogs all day, like an epic Tom Waits record, and I was like, my mind was totally blown, and I walked into the green room of our show, and I was like, you guys are not gonna believe this. Everyone was like, what, man? Everyone had themselves a day. Eugene and Dan were very, very sick. And Catherine and Annie and Emily wanted to, I'm saying the names of these people like you know them, and you probably do. So if you don't, that's fine, just play along. Catherine and Annie and Emily were like, well, we've got to go to a spa. But Elton John was in town that night. And Elton John had booked out the best spa in town. These guys were not that happy. They had to go to the second best spa. Anyway, I made everyone sit down while I read them the lyrics of 9th and Hennepin. And it's too long to read you the whole thing, but I'm going to set the tone here by reading you an excerpt from Tom Waits' 9th and Hennepin. This section, I believe, is about looking at people in Minneapolis. And I'm lost in the window, and I hide on the stairway, and I hang in the curtain, and I sleep in your hat. And no one brings anything small into a bar around here. They all started out with bad directions. And the girl behind the bar has a tattooed tear. One for every year he's away, she said. Such a crumbling beauty. Oh, there's nothing wrong with her, $100 won't fix. She has that razor sadness that only gets worse with the clang and thunder of the Southern Pacific going by. And the clock ticks out like a dripping faucet till you're full of rag water, bitters, and blue ruin. And you spill out over the side to anyone who will listen. I've seen it all. I've seen it all through the yellow windows of the evening.